It's time to get that pocketbook out, son. Who out there is excited to be paying more, even more, for food? Y'all better get ready for some sticker shock. Coming up next here on Prepper Nation. Welcome to Prepper Nation. I am John. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing all of the YouTube crap that I'm terrible at. The thumbs up, the what's it called? The bell icon, hitting subscribe, sharing it out, supporting the channel with the links down below. It's truly appreciated. If it's your first time here at Prepper Nation, we promise to go gentle on you. At least I do. I cannot speak for the Beaverines in chat. So food inflation is coming. All right, this again, right? This article is going to be linked down below, and then we're going to kick over to a different story because I think they go together. So Conagra Brands, which is a huge food brand, their CEO this past Thursday did an interview, and this is the one I'll link down below, and said that they are seeing a likely temporary, I don't think so, a likely temporary shift in shopping habits, shopping behavior across all of the major chain grocery stores. Consumers are targeting lower cost store brands. Again, I don't think that's short term. I think that's long term, but we'll get into that. And consumers are now targeting long term shelf life items. So people are starting to think in the same vein as preppers have been thinking for quite some time. Zombies are starting to wake up, if you will, not by choice. They really don't have a choice in the matter. It's getting down to affordability at this point. I keep hearing inflation's going down nationally, but when you check food inflation, it continues to tick up a little bit month after month after month. It's hitting like 1% higher, 2% higher this month. I mean, it's stair-stepping its way up to hyperinflation in terms of food, at least. So again, I'll leave that down below. The shopping habits and things, they're going to come into play here. Again, I don't think those are short term. But now we switch over to Russia. Russia and Ukraine, baby. Everybody's favorite topic, seems like, in 2023. Everybody forgot about the pandemic. They forgot about the aliens. They forgot about everything else. And now everybody's talking back once again. You know, it's like the Wheel of Fortune on mainstream media. Now we're talking about Russia and Ukraine. So Russia has formally notified the Secretary of the United Nations, no more grain exports are coming your way. Russia is no longer sending grain, as of earlier this week, to nations within the UN. And on top of this, they are not guaranteeing safe passage through the Black Sea. Translation there would be, if another country up and decides, hey, we'll send you some of our food via the Black Sea, there is a distinct possibility now Russia's going to, just sink the ship. I mean, they're just going to put it on the bottom of the Black Sea as opposed to feeding people in UN nations. Already wheat, corn, and soybeans have started an uptick in price globally. Okay, and this is, the food exchange markets and things. It's not a huge amount. I think the highest one was wheat, and it's like 5.7% since its announcement, but it's a runaway train. Russia by itself typically exports 47.7 tons of grain. But this is much bigger now than Russia because when you look at the Black Sea, how much grain passes through the Black Sea annually? 30 million tons. 30 million tons of grain going back and forth throughout the Black Sea. This is on top of what Russia's no longer exporting. This is on top of Ukraine, who typically exports a lot of grain. They're number 2 or number 3 globally, I think. They can't do that right now because they're at war. In fact, they need help In case you missed the memo, we're feeding people in Ukraine here in the United States and abroad. This is a lot of food. This is a monumental shift in the amount of available food that is out there globally. And again, this could not come at a worse time because ConAgra Foods, getting back to the article for a second, they're pointing out the fact that shopping habits are changing. People are getting off of the national brands. We've been doing that for a while. I mean, we've been doing that for probably a year and a half, 2 years now. But it's because we saw the food inflation. We were worried about shortages. Let's put more on the shelf. Who cares what brand name's on it and all of that? But now your typical zombies, your normies, if you will, they're shifting their patterns. And they're beginning. This is bad news for preppers because they're targeting the same foods that we typically go after. Normally, it's kind of easy to prep as long as you have enough expendable income. You go into a grocery store, you're targeting, powdered milk, you're targeting cans of tuna, you're targeting, maybe canned soup and bagged beans, you're targeting peanut butter. But now the average normie zombie American who does not consider themselves a prepper, they've reached a point financially where they're also targeting the same thing because it's cheaper and they've been priced out of the other stuff. So it's going to be a free for all on the prepping stuff in your store. And the problem is, getting back to it for a second, people here in the United States, on average, they can't afford it now. We were talking last week. People are using or have been using for a very long time now credit and debit cards to pay their monthly expenses because they're treading water. They're barely making it month to month. Maybe some people out there are as well. And now it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse for the average American. What are they going to do? Not eat? I mean, they could eat less, I suppose. A lot of them should maybe eat less, but they're not going to do that. They're not going to eat less. They're going to do without other things, and they're going to shop as cheaply as possible. There's no end in sight. I don't know where this article gets this from, this, likely temporary. There's no end in sight. Is the war winding down, the war in Russia and Ukraine? Is it winding down? Do they know something we don't know? Of course not. It's ramping up. It's getting worse by the day. Every morning it ramps up. Another bridge is hit. Another airport's hit. The power facility that's always in jeopardy over there. There's always something going on. Another financial aid package being sent. More weapons destroyed. It's ramping up, right? It's not winding down. So these people are nuts, or they're trying not to panic the average American. The thing with food inflation, it affects everyone. All right. You can get away with having a diesel shortage, for example. Now, that'll affect a lot of people too, or car parts, or very specific things in specific communities. But everybody has to eat here in the United States, unless I missed something on that. Everybody's eating. Maybe not Bill Gates. Who knows what that dude is up to? But food inflation affects everyone. This is not something you can run and hide from. And this is why we are seeing, I think, zombies begin to wake up. The difference is zombies don't see what's coming. All right. This is what, in my opinion, this is what separates preppers from your normies or your zombies. The zombie doesn't see it until they walk into the store. And then at that point, the point of sale, they realize I can't afford to do this. I got to put something back and get something cheaper. Preppers kind of they're forward thinking. We're forward thinking in that we see food inflation is coming. More food inflation. Again, consider this your warning. If you're out there and you see this or you hear this, God bless you for being here, by the way, but consider this a warning. It's not going away anytime soon. Stuff is expensive. Meats are expensive. Bread's expensive. Dairy's expensive. It's about to get a lot more expensive. All right, as this war ramps up. All of your grains, again, getting hitting your wheat, your corn on down the line. So budget for food inflation moving forward. Everybody's budget's going to look different, but kind of budget in spending a little more on groceries. And I get it. It's hard to do. We were just talking a few days ago about so many people hitting food banks. Food banks don't know what to do. They're out of funding, they're out of food. It's got to come from somewhere, and it's just not coming anymore the way it used to. And it's because people don't have expendable income. They can't donate as much on down the line. So try your best to budget for food inflation. There's nothing wrong with couponing and stuff like this, and there's nothing wrong with shopping around for the best deal, because we're going to reach a point where you have to. Otherwise, you better get ready for some serious sticker shock. Folks, this is John with Prepper Nation. Thank you very much for being here. I'll talk to you tomorrow. God bless.